second show.
Well, all right. Once again, I'm Ralph.
Kevin.
And we are DaChurchGuyz, and this is...
show number 2.
That's right, of DaChurchGuyz show.
That's right.
We're actually doing another one of these, so I guess if you're watching it, the first one didn't scare you off, so... or you at least managed to sit through it. I'm told it was a bit long.
Yeah, that's kind of the feedback I got. But we have lots to say.
Speaking of feedback, did we get any emails?
No.
Oh, well, first show and all that. But I'm sure that there will be millions and millions of...
Yeah, I think we're going to have to hire some folks to read those for us.
The Church Guy staff. Yes.
I like
unpaid interns and at least they're getting paid as much as we are, which is...
absolutely nothing.
Exactly. But, so it is our second show. If you did watch the first show, we did a quiz. It was a Bible character or Pokemon, and just real quick to give you the answers on those.
Yeah, there were 5 of them.
Right. Quartus is actually from the Bible. Naboth as well. Maractus, although it sounds sort of biblical, is actually a Pokemon. Lystra is from the Bible. And Kakuna was a Pokemon.
Kakuna Matata.
That's something else. Now we're probably going to get sued by Disney.
That's fine. You cannot get blood from a turnip.
What if you could? That's a deep thought.
Yes. Hey, speaking of deep thoughts.
See what I did there?
I like that. Great segue. We're going to throw it to a new segment called Deep Thoughts with Billy and the Dude.
Take it away, boys. Why doesn't super glue stick to the bottle?
Jesus pooped.
If both teams pray before the game and only one of them wins, does that mean God likes them better?
What if oxygen really makes our voices higher and helium brings it back to normal?
Do fish get thirsty?
On the other hand, you have more fingers.
That was pretty deep.
It was pretty deep. But let's keep the things rolling here with our next segment, Christian Impossible, episode 2.
Yes! Dun, dun, dun.
Cue the fabulous theme music.
Yes. Did you like the graphic?
That was wonderful. It's very high-tech.
Actually, it's not, but we're working on that.
Well,
More subscribers gets more technology.
So anyway, what topic are we going to tackle this week?
Well, last week we talked about the lying.
Did we?
We did. I mean, we don't really know where we ended on that because it's kind of a rough area for Christians. So this week I thought maybe we would do something. Well, I'm sorry. It's not even easy. It's not any easier than lying. Cussing.
Oh, it's much easier. just slam your thumb with a hammer, and boy, it just comes out just like that.
But is it okay to cuss?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm sort of a product of my environment. If I'm in an area where people are using salty language, it tends to come out, a little more freely. But I do try to be aware that, it's not something that I should be proud to do. I shouldn't be, just throwing it out there. But, I mean, it happens, right?
But, okay, so we can both agree that it happens.
Right.
I spent years and years working in an environment where it was prevalent, and you're right, it kind of rubs off, and you just go with the flow. But here's the thing. Who really determined that they were cuss words?
That's a great question. I mean, because we have these set of words that we use all the time, and nobody says anything, but there's one of these set of words that you throw one out there, and all of a sudden, some people will, yes. And there's really, I can't think of any rhyme or reason. Why is word A okay, word B is kind of okay, and word C will get you thrown out of the building?
And see, I did a little research.
Okay.
It's probably the only research I've ever done, for this show. I never researched anything in school. But I did a little research, and what I found out was that kind of like what you say, a product of the environment. So here's what happens. Lots of people say that the Roman Empire started some of that, right? But every slanderous kind of curse word, had to do with sexual acts. So that's kind of where it got its foundation. But if you look in Scripture, like there's tons of lovely Bible verses that say, Colossians 3:8. But now you must put them all away. Anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth. But again, who determines what's obscene? See, in the Bible, it's about taking the Lord's name in vain.
Oh, that's another one of those commandment things we were talking about last
10.
week. Yes,
Top 10.
And it's in the top 10. So taking the Lord's name in vain. Now, when you say that, I know what you're saying. Don't say this, right? But what exactly is taking the Lord's name in vain?
Okay, so this is what I found out. God, and this, follow me here. This gets a little confusing, but God's name, right, is really an identification of His character. Like His name,
His
God,
holiness.
is right. God means He is holy, right?
Like the Hebrews, they came up with Yahweh as an unpronounceable word so that people wouldn't accidentally say the Lord's name in vain.
Exactly. So when you use the Lord's name in a way that is not becoming of His holiness, then you are using it in vain. The word vain, I think, means empty back long time ago. So that's where it gets its origin, is from a word that meant empty. So,
Okay. So what about, I'm not saying the Lord's name in vain. I'm not using it as an expression of anger or frustration, but what if I use like a substitute, like gosh? You know what I mean. Oh my gosh. Golly. Or even geez. Right? So geez is short for Jesus, right? Isn't it?
It is. And see, that goes back to the culture, I guess, that you're in, because I found this very interesting. The word fanny. The word fanny in America means your bottom, right? That's what most people would refer to when they say fanny.
Sure.
Right? Means something totally different overseas. Actually, it is a curse word. So if you're watching this overseas, yes, a church guy just cussed. Sorry. But that's the
You
whole...
fanny.
That's what I'm saying. See, so it's all about the culture that you're in, and it's about your, I guess, demographic and what people think are bad words. The Brits have different bad words.
Oh, like bloody.
Exactly.
I mean,
that was an example I found today.
That's like a really like this bloody Mike is so silver.
Right.
Okay.
We're gonna get kicked out of church just for this episode. I mean, we've just dropped the fanny and the bloody right there.
Well, when you think about it, profanity, obscenity, cussing, swearing, whatever you want to call it. I mean, those are emotional words. We use them in certain circumstances.
Yep, we do.
And it's hard to even try to explain to someone who didn't understand the concept what it would even mean. I mean, these are the words that I use. Like they call it adult language. Like, so grown-ups can say it, right?
Yeah, it's okay for grown-ups, just kids can't.
Right. I mean, in a kid, he says, like, dang it, he might as well have, taken the Lord's name in vain.
And,
right?
and then what if you're talking about a place? You know where I'm going with this, right?
Go on.
So it's okay if you've got a group of children in a Sunday school class learning about Jesus and the fact that they don't want to go to hell.
Right.
Hell is a place.
Sure.
So in that context, the word is not a bad word.
Or you could say HE double hockey sticks.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really do. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, cussing is one of those things that if you say you don't do it, then you probably just lied. And we've already covered that.
Right. And what about the intent? Like, even if you don't say the word, like if you slam your hand, and go, oh, sugar. We know what you meant. You didn't mean anything sweet, let me tell you.
And that's the thing. I'm glad you bring that up, because one of the Bible commentaries that I looked up actually made mention to that. This all of these Bible verses in the Bible that I've highlighted here, that, and this is just one page. There's multiple pages that have something to do about controlling your tongue, what comes out of your mouth. It's not really about the actual word. It's about the intent of the word. and speaking ill of others, or speaking down to others, or speaking negatively. All of those are considered just as bad as curse words to God. So maybe it's not really about the word itself. I mean, obviously, we're not condoning for you to cuss, because when you use those cuss words, it's never in a positive manner, right? I mean, I don't know of any time that it's in a positive manner. But
what did Mom always say? If you can't say something nice about someone,
don't say anything at all.
No, she said make sure they're not in the room.
Oh, I like your mom.
Yeah,
I really do.
Speaking of profanity.
Okay, so email address, it's on the bottom of the screen, DaChurchGuyz@gmail.com. Email us what you think about profanity. Just don't use any in the email.
Unless it's really funny. No, I'm sorry.
Then we'll delete those. Well, not the funny ones, but
we won't say them on the air.
Right. We will definitely use them though. So yeah, just email us what your thoughts are. So Man on the Street, we're gonna try that this time.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good way to introduce us to the general public. I
don't know that that's a great idea, but we can sure give it a whirl.
Well, we have some unaware citizens that we're about to catch.
We do. And they know nothing about
exactly.
this.
So I thought for the first time out, we'd try a little thing called Is It or Is It Not in the Bible? Because there are a lot of things that you've probably heard all your life that you think, oh, yeah, it's from the Bible.
This is going to be great.
And there are some things that you go, wait a minute, that's in the Bible?
This is good.
Because if you've read the Bible, other than just if you just start reading through it, you'll get to some pretty interesting passages that you'll think, I never thought that would be in the Bible.
Speaking of what we just talked about, the whole profanity, and,
right.
And some things that are ugly or inappropriate. If you get into the Bible, there's some stuff that could be definitely R-rated type movie material in there.
It's true. Blood,
whole
violence.
Civilizations being killed.
Yes.
The whole 9 yards. It's pretty graphic.
Just the Song of Solomon alone.
Oh, one of my favorite books. We'll talk about that on another show. So here we go. Man on the Street. Is it in the Bible or not?
All right, so you seem like a smart young man.
Not really.
So let me ask you something. You know the Bible fairly well?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you a couple of phrases, and you tell me if this is something from the Bible or if it's not something from the Bible.
Hey, don't worry. You may or may not go to hell if you get it wrong. It's fine.
Okay.
Hit him with one.
God helps those who help themselves.
You probably need to put that there so we can hear it. There you go.
That's not in the Bible.
Not in the Bible?
I don't believe so.
You don't believe so?
Are you sure?
It sounds very biblical.
But I don't think it's in there.
You are correct. It is not in the Bible. Yes. Because God helps those who help themselves goes completely against the idea that we should do what?
Rely on Him.
This is a smart kid.
Very good. And we have our next victim here on...
What's your name?
Michaela.
Michaela. That's a nice name. It really is.
It's not biblical, though. Or is it?
It's not.
Oh, we'll see. Oh, we'll see. This is going to be good because we're going to ask you some things. We're going to read some passages, and you tell us, are they biblical or are they not biblical?
In the Bible or not?
Okay.
Now, I feel like I should tell you, if you get one wrong, you probably go to hell. But don't let that pressure you any at all.
I don't believe that's correct.
We're the church guys. We know this stuff. Just answer the questions.
Okay.
Okay. How about this one? Are you scared? You should be scared. The king was a large man who feasted upon 3 whole hogs each day.
Large man.
Biblical or not biblical?
Was it in the Bible? Was it? Is it? Is it?
Is it?
Present tense.
Or is it
in
not?
the Bible or not?
No.
That's correct. It is not in the Bible. It actually describes me on the 4th of July.
Family get together.
Yes. Give beer to those who are perishing, wine to those who are in anguish.
Not in the Bible?
Oh, it's in the Bible. That's actually from Proverbs.
So that means that's. We can give
Your very fate hangs in the balance with the answer to this next question.
What version of the Bible are we using here?
This is the New International Version.
He gave me the verse.
I didn't say thou givest beer to thine self for the perishings.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Well, that went well.
It's pretty intense, to be honest. And that was just people we go to church with. Imagine when we go out on the street.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I probably shouldn't tell people they're going to hell if they get the questions wrong if we go out on the street, should I?
It's not biblically sound, and it'd probably get us punched in the face.
Is that in the Bible? That would be a great question. You're going to hell if you miss this.
Thou shalt punchest thy neighbor in thy face.
Yes, I like it.
Yes.
All right, so I guess we're going to wrap it up this go around.
If our goal was to make it not quite as long, I think we probably should.
I think that's a good thing. So emails on the bottom of the screen again, DaChurchGuyz@gmail.com. Email us. I'm really getting tired of checking and there not being anything there. So email us.
You can also find us on Facebook.
You can. We have a Facebook page, so go follow us on Facebook. Most of all, like the videos, subscribe to the videos, and share the videos. Again, we're the Church Guys. You don't have to go to church here, but go to church somewhere, because that's where you learn about Jesus, and it's all about Jesus.
And we also want you to know that if you want to go to church here, just find us. We're here.
We're here. So, until next week, guys.